What up, it's your brother. And hopefully your friend, Big Hill. Rockwacey in the building. Black African power. Each one teach one. Check this out, man. I'm gonna make this video right quick about. This video here is about I don't even know what to call it. Hell, I think of a title. It's just something, man, that happened to me yesterday, and I felt the need to talk about it. So yesterday I ran into a friend of mine. He's a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? We've been knowing each other a while. And he's one of my Facebook friends. No, he ain't on Facebook. He's on what you call it, IG, Instagram. And he sees some of my posts. He sees, you know, my anti-white Jesus, anti-religion, and some of my metaphysical posts describing divinity. So he asked me, right? He said, man, do you believe in God? You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to say, he wanted to know if I was an atheist. You know, he's like, you an atheist? You believe in God? I'm like, no, I'm not an atheist. And I said, yeah, I believe in myself, so yeah, I believe in God. And he looked at me, right? He said, no, do you believe in God? I said, yeah, I believe in myself, so I believe in God. And I said that for a distinct reason, you know what I mean? But according to my concept of divinity. And he was like, nah, man, I didn't ask you, did you believe in yourself? I asked you, did you believe in God? I said, and I told you I believe in myself, so I believe in God. 3 times. Then he said to me, no, man, I'm talking about like the God of the Bible. And I didn't just want to tell him, no, I don't believe in an Abrahamic, biblical concept of divinity. But what I did, I went into the scriptures to validate the very thing that I told him. And I told him, I was like, yeah, well, according to the Bible, like in Genesis, it says, you know, I was made in the image, in the likeness of God. You know, if I'm made in the image and likeness of something, then that means it looks like me, I look like it, it's like me, and I'm like it. I am the microcosm of the macrocosm. It's like, it's like, say for instance, like, I told him, I'm like, you made in the image and the likeness of your parents. I made in the image and likeness of my parents. 23 chromosomes from my father, 23 chromosomes from my mother. I'm in their image and their likeness. I am them. They are me. Then I told him, I said, even in Luke, when Yeshua was teaching his disciples, you know, he was saying to Luke, I think it's in 19, 20, and 21, I believe it is. He said, you know, that the people in his day, in the biblical days, were looking for a sign. They wanted to know of a sign of the coming of God. And he said, you know, and he was describing, like people say, low here, low there. And he said, God don't come that way. He's not coming that way. He said, people looking for a sign, but the kingdom of God is within. It's within you. This is what, quote unquote, Jesus taught. He said, and where's the kingdom? A kingdom is where someone dwells at, right? You live in your kingdom. Then I took him to Psalms 84, and it said, ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. And like I said, me and him, I told him, I'm like, you got 23 chromosomes, I got 23 chromosomes. We made up 46 chromosomes, half for my father, half for my mother. We are them, they are us. Or we are them. We're children of them. You know what I'm saying? So I am what they are. And I said all that, then once I said it, that's why I said, yeah, I believe in myself, so I believe in God. Because my concept of divinity, and then when I told him that, right, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but when I told him that, even though he was listening to what I was saying, he asked me about, you know, in order to invalidate my concept of divinity, he said, no, the God of the Bible. Then when I took him and used his book that he believed in to validate my concept of divinity from his book, I could see him shaking his head. While I was telling him, I was like, I'm using his book, quoting scriptures out of his book that he believed in. And I could see his head. And he was like, you don't believe in God. And I'm like, so at that point, man, you know, because I understand cognitive dissonance, man. And I can clearly see it taking hold and having an effect on it. And cognitive dissonance is when you hold a core belief and you are presented with information that conflicts with that core belief, the mind automatically starts rejecting it and produces a feeling of being uncomfortable. Me understanding what that is and how it works, I can recognize it in myself and I recognize it with others, especially if I'm talking to you and I'm giving you information that, especially when it comes to this religious stuff, you know, this biblical, this Bible and Christianity. You know, when I start hitting you with some truths, some metaphysical truths and some universal truths and some science, and it conflicts with what you've been taught, the doctrine that you've been indoctrinated with, I can see, like when his head started doing that, I was like, that's cognitive dissonance. So now I understand that, man, there's no need for me to continue this conversation with you. Because I understand what I'm talking about. You don't want to understand what I'm talking about. Don't understand what I'm talking about, and you're really not ready to receive or even try to understand what my concept of divinity is. So me having a certain degree of knowledge, wisdom, understanding these dynamics, what was at play in that moment, I just kind of backed up off the conversation, you know what I mean? Because I seen his head shaking, you know, and even after I explained to him using his book, you know, he still wanted to tell me, you don't believe in God. And I'm telling him, yeah, I believe in myself, so I believe in God. And use his book to validate my belief in this quote-unquote God, which I don't like the word, I always say divine. So anyway, so yeah, man, you know, what we need to understand, brothers and sisters, is that we need to start recognizing, understand what cognitive dissonance is, and understand when it's at play in our own lives. Because that type of mental block prevents growth. You know, it keeps you trapped, it keeps you stuck from the neck up. Because you want to hold on to something that you've been taught. And then when somebody presents you with information about something you believe, the mind automatically rejects it. And you don't want to even investigate to find out whether or not the information is true or not. You just reject the information. And that keeps you, you just put a ceiling on your growth. Because somebody might be presenting you with information that's going to free you from a truth that's been had you in bondage for a lot of years. Mental bondage, emotional bondage, and spiritual bondage. Brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Now, me and the brother having an online conversation, and he was talking about the videos that I made. And he said, man, I don't never hear you talking about, economic empowerment. You know what I'm saying? I don't never hear you talking about, finances, economic empowerment and stuff like that. simply explained to him, I'm like, that's not my area of expertise, Doc. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a property owner. I'm not a business owner. You know what I'm saying? I can't, I'm a working man. I make a good living. I've been having a profession for a lot of years. I came up in a generation where they taught us, go to school, get an education so you can get a good job. I didn't go to college. I went to trade school. And I've been working in this profession since then. So if I start running my mouth about finances and, well, economics, business economics, and property owning and stuff like that, then all I'm doing is giving lip service because it's not coming from a place of experience. And if you watch my videos, most of what you hear me talk about is the internal dynamic of healing and spiritually getting well. Because that, I do have, I won't say expertise in, but that has been my experience. You know, I spent 23 years addicted to drugs and alcohol. I overcame that, and I've been sober for 16 years. I've experienced mental, emotional, and spiritual darkness to the place of wanting to commit suicide because I didn't want to live that life anymore. I overcame that. All praise is due to the divine and the people that helped me. So, having learned that any type of development starts from the inside out, that's what I talk about. That's what my focus is. You know, that's why I talk about things like cognitive dissonance. That's an internal dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I understand what it is. Once I began to understand what it is, I began to see how it affects me and prevents me from expanding my consciousness and growing as a person. Because I want to hold on to something that I've been taught without investigating any more information that's presented to me about that which I think I know and understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a place in my life now where I'm in complete atonement. Like Tupac say, I done went from hell to living well. But it hasn't always been that way. So I feel like I'm qualified to lead people out of the darkness, out of the spiritual darkness. Talk about things that help me. You know, mine came through a process of education. You know what I'm saying? That's how I began to grow and expand. Through reading and studying different types of things. I read in the Bible where it says, be ye transformed by a renewing of your mind. It didn't say be transformed by your faith in Jesus. It didn't say be transformed by your faith in the Most High, your faith in Allah. It said be transformed by a renewing of your mind. How do you renew your mind? By putting new information in it. Forcing some of that old information out. Like the computers, garbage in, garbage out. So, you know, I'm qualified to talk about those things. So if you go on my YouTube channel, and my weak YouTube channel where ain't nobody watching me, but you know, I do that, I do mine. Like I always say, it ain't about that with me. It's about me having a way to express my idea and put it out to the masses of people just in case someone watches it. And I have had people to tell me, yo, thanks for that information, bro. It helped me a lot. That's what I do it for. Each one, teach one. You know what I'm saying? I had talking to a young lady, you know, we developed a friendship, and she said to me, I guess she was just joking. You know, I don't know what was her purpose for saying it. I took it as a joke. But yeah, I want to sit at your feet and learn. Like, whoa, back up now. I don't have those type of ego needs, right? I don't have the need to have people sitting at my feet learning. You know, if you listen to me and you happen to learn off something that I say, then that's fine and dandy. But I'm not looking for no adherents and followers and shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. So that's why, man, I don't talk about finances and buying property. Business stuff, because that's not my area of expertise. You know, I plan on getting me a truck here pretty soon. I went one route through a lease purchase, and that wasn't the route for me. That's a racket. You know, that's just people capitalizing on people's ignorance and then get you to sign off on something, man, that's gonna make them money. Everybody making money but you. So what I'll do, I have to do it the old-fashioned way, man. Get the dollars up, get the starting costs. Because when you're trying to start a business, take starting costs. You know what I'm saying? So once I do that, then I can start talking to you about owning a business. But other than that, I'm gonna continue to talk about spiritual, emotional, and spiritual well-being and enlightenment. Because to me, like I read this one book, y'all probably heard of this book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Well, the first habit is internal, what it says? It says private victories before public victories. You know what I'm saying? And what that means to me is inside out. I start with myself. See, that's the problem, man, with a lot of this quote-unquote conscious shit that's going on out here now on the internet. You know, folks